Hi, I'm Inemisa Graham, and I'm going to show you my favorite exercise. It's an exercise that I start every personal training session with and every class with. And the reason is because it's not really about strengthening any muscles, it's about you becoming aware of the sensations within your body. Because when people ask the question of what exercise should I do, or when you see those lists of right or wrong exercises, the reason that those lists are inaccurate and they're not helpful is because one exercise can be done a million different ways, and there is no right or wrong way. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish and what sensations that you want to feel within your body or that you don't want to feel within your body. So knowing what is working for you, what's helpful for you, really depends on you. And it's not something that I can tell you, it's not something that anyone else can tell you, it's something that you can become aware of. So this is about building an awareness of sensations within your body. And it's a breathing exercise because the breath is the foundation of life. The first thing a baby does when it's born is breathes. You listen for that cry because it's life-giving breath, and your breathing gives life. This exercise is not about correcting the way you breathe, because if you're alive right now, you're breathing fine. There is no right or wrong way to breathe. But this is about becoming aware of your tendency, and maybe your tendency is different to the way this breath is. And so that can give you something else to access. And what your body really needs is variety. And the example I like to use is, for a while you heard that sitting is killing everyone, sitting is the new smoking. And so it was like people thought, oh, okay, I should stand up all the time. And then there was research done on people that spent a lot of time standing, and they found that they were having issues too, and standing all the time wasn't the answer. And what they found is, what I have at work is a sit-stand desk. Sometimes I sit, sometimes I stand. And it wasn't that sitting was bad for you or that standing was bad for you. It's staying seated all the time wasn't the best thing for the body. Staying standing all the time wasn't the best thing for the body. What your body needed was variety, the ability to sit sometimes and stand sometimes. And so those desks allow you to sit and stand, and they encourage you to do that throughout the day. You need variety. And so this exercise might offer your body something that you haven't been doing, that you're not even aware that you're not doing. And so it's something different. Start with the breath, and it's about breathing, just kind of filling your whole abdomen with breath. And it's important because I find there's a tendency for women, from postpartum women, to suck it in, women in general, because we're all being fed this information that you can't have a big belly. So everyone's sucking it in all the time, we're pulling it in, we're creating tension. And the thing with holding it in is your muscles react to the way that you train them. And whether you're intentionally training it or not, whether you're aware that you're intentionally training it or not, the way that you move is how you're training it. So if you're always sucking it in, you're training those muscles, all the muscles that you're sucking to pull everything in to stay in a tightened position. So it can become harder for them to relax. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take one hand and put it up on your rib cage, and the other hand, by that crease in your leg, put it on your lower belly and sit upright. So you have two hard bones under your butt. So if you push into it, under each cheek, it's layman's term of your sits bones, because you're supposed to sit on them. So you sit on your sit bones, one hand on your rib cage, the other hand by your pelvic bone. Inhale through your nose for a count of 3 seconds, and try and feel for a sensation of your ribs here expanding outwards into your hands, and for your lower belly expanding. Try and adjust this. Your lower belly expanding into your hands as well. So both are expanding with that breath. And then exhale through your mouth for a count of 3 and just feel what happens. And so this is about what you're feeling in your body. So what do you feel? Do you feel movement? Do you feel movement in one part and not the other? Do you feel movement in both parts? Do you find one part more difficult to do than the other? And depending on what you struggle with, that's where your focus is. So say you're inhaling and you feel the expansion into your hands and your ribs, but you really can't feel the lower belly expand. So I'm going to ask you to focus on trying to relax it. And so you can use the seat beneath you as a sensation. So if you're sitting up on it, you're going to feel your vulva up against that seat. And between your vulva, between your vagina at the front, your anus at the back, is your perineum. You can kind of feel your perineum on the seat. And so as you inhale, try to relax it. And a sensation I'm looking, you can try to tap into is, when you're holding a pee, you've been holding a pee for a long time and you're running to the toilet and you find the toilet, you sit down and it's like, oh. And it's not a forceful anything. It's like a letting go. And that can be hard because you're not doing anything. You're stopping doing something. And so like that release, and you can use the chair as something as feedback. So imagine you're inhaling and just trying to melt into that seat. So not like when you're pooping and it's like a hard poop and you're pushing and you can feel that descent. That's bearing down. It's a relaxation. And another way to kind of try and tap into that sensation, if you sit or you stand, and I want you to go the lowest sound you can possibly make. Do it. And then go and relax. And then go. Do you feel that? With that deep sound, you feel a slight relaxation or dropping of your pelvic floor. With the woo, you feel it gently pull upwards. So that's what I want you to tap into. So when you're inhaling, I want you to look for that relaxation, that gentle dropping, but not forcing, because it wasn't forced at all. That inhaling into your ribs, still inhaling into your ribs here. That's expanding, awesome. Trying to, because you're struggling with down here, then trying to relax and inhale all the way down and feel for that relaxation. And then exhale through your mouth and see what happens. And if you were struggling feeling it up here, you could feel movement down in your lower belly, but you couldn't feel it in the rib cage. And I would tell you to focus on that. And it's not right or wrong. It's, if you're really good at something, then teach your body to do it a different way, because maybe that different way is going to help, going to make you feel different, make the sensations different. So you would put your hands here and just really focus, still not stopping that lower belly feeling, but more focused up here to inhale and relax, and try, and like your ribs are an umbrella, imagine them expanding out into your hands. That was what you would struggle with. If you were great at relaxing, but you struggle with the lift, and then we focus on that. And when I say the lift, people are going to think a Kegel, and it is a Kegel, but a Kegel is the full range of motion. It's the lift and the relaxation. So that ability to relax, that's a Kegel too. You need to be able to relax to get a good contraction. So if you're struggling with the ability to relax, you don't need to stop, be mad that you're lifting. You just need to try and focus on that to give yourself something else to tap into, a tool that you don't currently have. So if you're struggling with feeling the movement away, that's when I might cue you to, if you can feel that inhale and it's expanding, you can feel the inhale down in your lower belly and it's expanding, and then we'll see what happens with the exhale. Exhale and feel within your body what is happening. If you're feeling exhaling and that your abs are gently pulling away, your lower belly is pulling away from your hands, your ribs are pulling away from your hands, that's cool. Yeah. If you're not, we can work on that. Regardless, we can just see how a different strategy might feel if you've never done this before. And so I inhale and focus on relaxing, that letting go, and then exhale and see if, when you did that, and you feel that gentle lifting. A lot of people, when they think that they're Kegling or they're lifting or contracting their pelvic floor, they think they have to like pull and squeeze as hard as possible. The thing is, it's really not necessary. It's supposed to be like a gentle lift. And with that, it wasn't a forceful tugging. It was just kind of rising. And so tap into that sensation when you're lifting your pelvic floor and make it more gentle. Think of what 100% of your effort would be, and then you're using about 20% effort, 20 to 30%. And just truly pulling it up gently. Now, an analogy I used to see people, pelvic floor physio say all the time was that jellyfish. Imagine swimming up with a jellyfish. And I never used that for the longest time because it didn't make sense to me. I was like, I'm supposed to be like pull and dropping. It was, I use lots of different analogies with my clients because that one didn't help me at all. Now I totally get it. Because when I thought about that gentle coming up, and how a jellyfish is very gentle in its way it's coming up, it kind of clicked with me. And another way is an orgasm is a bunch of pelvic floor contractions. It's your pelvic floor contracting and relaxing really, really fast. That is what an orgasm is. So if you've had an orgasm and you can tap into that sensation, again, it's not forceful. It's like, so that's what and then I thought about the jellyfish. And I'm like, oh, the jellyfish makes sense now. So it's gentle. So think about like gentle drawing up 20% and not like an elevator, not an elevator supposed to shoot up, but not like pulling up or like a rocket ship going whoop. It's just an exhale and a gentle lift, inhale and relaxation. And this is just about tendencies, trying to teach you a different tendency. I'm looking at my time and this has been like a 10-minute video, so I'll cut it short. But this is kind of the stuff I work with. That's why I train the breath. And then it starts with the breath, we'll work for 2-3 minutes on the breath and then do other warm-ups and move into our exercises. But that's just kind of a little inside view into my training methods. I do one-on-one in-person and online consultations, one-on-one in-person and online personal training. So you can, what's the term that the kids use? Slide into my DMs if you want to know more.